and end off with this breath practice. And I'm going to folks to do a little breath practice with me. I'm going to start my piece and end off with this breath practice. And I'm going to encourage you all to use this throughout your daily life. It's a breath practice that I use all the time. And it's called Ave Sa, which is an gift from the Archangel realm channeled by Master Lady Kira Ra. And so with this breath practice, I'm going to invite you to take a deep inhale, bring your breath all the way up to your crown. And as you're doing that, recite Ave, hail to the divine. And then we'll exhale with a Sa. So I would love for us to do this twice. So if it's safe to do so, please bring your hands to your heart. And if you are comfortable, please close your eyes, or you can keep them open as well. We'll take a deep inhale and recite Ave. Inhale. Sa. Inhale. Sa.
You see what other animals you see? What other animals you see?
And I'm loving that affirmation from the baby in the background. So I want to thank you all for participating with me in that practice. And for folks who are new to me, my name is Joan. I use they, them pronoun. And I am here on Takaranto, colonially Toronto, Indigenous territory to the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat people, the Chippewa, and the Senecas. I identify as a gender non-binary, queer, gay, homo, trans, feminine of the diaspora. I am a channel and a Shakta. I dance to worship the goddess. And I like to call myself a pleasure and a wisdom doula, which really means that it's my commitment to reflect your divine wisdom and radiance when I am being graced in your presence. So my story with this work, with being a wisdom doula and a pleasure doula, really begins on the land of Guyana. I was born and raised there, and I moved here when I was 10 years old. And I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse. I experienced abuse. I don't recall the exact age. I was so young, but I'm thinking 8, 9. It was before I migrated here. So there was also a lot of other compounding trauma. There was domestic violence, there was alcoholism, and there was really a lot of disembodiment that I experienced. My journey later on in my teenage year it was amplified by experiencing rape as a teenager. And I had no idea that this trauma was having such an impact on my mental health. So as a teenager, I was really struggling with my mental health. I was really struggling with depression and suicidal ideation as well. And it was really the love for my daughter, who was 3 and I was 23 at the time, that really made me choose my life. It was loving her and wanting to live for her life that made me choose my life. And that moment also made me choose to enter into a conscious relationship with healing. And so I didn't really know what that meant at that time or what that would look like, but I knew that I was going to choose life every day, regardless of how hard it felt. Can you imagine a 23-year-old already tired of living? I just started my life, but I was choosing life and I was choosing to live. And that really kind of started my spiritual journey and my journey with being in relationship with healing. And so I talk a lot about being in relationship and being in relationship with these pieces of myself. I didn't know at the time what I was embarking on, but what I was embarking on was a journey of intimacy with me after trauma, after experiencing compounding violence in my body, lodged in my body. And so I began this relationship of intimacy with me. I wanted to know me. I wanted to feel me. I wanted to see me. I wanted to taste me. I wanted to breathe me. Who am I? I asked myself when I was 20, and I really started unfolding when I entered into my relationship with healing. And along this journey, where I am now, what I have come to realize is whether I like it or not, whether it's fair or not, whether I'm enraged or not, I have a relationship with trauma. I have a relationship with trauma. When I look into the social and political sphere and I see Indigenous Black and brown bodies being harmed, I'm triggered. I have a relationship with trauma, whether I like it or not. Trauma touches me, whether I like it or not. These systems of trauma touch me. And so I have come to accept that I have a relationship with trauma and that I am in relationship with trauma. And so what I ask of myself is, how can I have a harmonious relationship with trauma? I can't bypass that I have a relationship with trauma. I can't bypass that. I can't deny that. I can't not gaze at that. I have to. It pulls at me every single day. So how can I have a harmonious relationship with trauma? How can I be in a relationship with trauma and it be harmonious? So that has brought me to my work with pleasure. And that has brought me to pleasure as a form of protest and resistance for me. And it looks like this. When I see Indigenous Black and brown bodies being harmed, what I see is our dignity and our humanity and our sovereignty being degraded by these systems of violence and these trauma systems. That's what I'm seeing. And so I choose to use pleasure as a form of rehumanizing myself every single day. And I choose to use pleasure as self-preservation every single day. I couldn't come into owning my sensuality and I couldn't come into owning my sexuality without first owning my humanity. And so pleasure is me coming back into owning my humanity. Sometimes it looks like slowing down and really just being present to drinking water and feeling it disperse in my body and how my body responds to being nourished and nurtured and filled with water. That was me rehumanizing myself. Sometimes it's just being in relationship with my breath and honoring my breath and honoring my beauty, my radiance, my luminosity, my vigor, my glory, because I do not consent to internalizing the degradation of my humanity, my sovereignty, and my dignity. I do not consent to internalizing that system and letting it lodge in my indigenous body. So I use pleasure. I use pleasure to feel my radiance again. I use pleasure to feel my beauty. to remember that I'm a pleasurable, indigenous, queer, gay, homo, divine being. I use pleasure to feed me my wholeness again, my wellness again, my peace, my love, my joy. And so what I'm wanting to do, my intention, is simply to show you an entry point into how you can explore pleasure in your body and how you can be curious of what pleasure can do for you to rehumanize yourself, to own your humanity again when these systems are dehumanizing our indigenous bodies. So I want to leave folks with that because I can go on, but I want to continue by grounding this little transmission in another Ave Sa breath. So if it's safe to do so, please bring your hands to your heart. And if you're comfortable, please close your eyes. And on the inhale, bring your breath to your crown, reciting Ave, and exhaling with a Sa. And we'll do this twice. Inhale, Sa. Inhale, Sa. And be in relationship with your breath. Feel it disperse through your body. Feel your calm. And know that peace, love, and joy is your wellness. Peace, love, and joy is your wholeness. Peace, love, and joy is your divine state of being. Thank you. Peace. And if folks have questions, please shout them out.
Thank you so